episode 149. I'm Alex Live with Sparky3. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day, whatever day you're listening or watching this podcast. So later than we normally start here today if you're watching live, but also earlier than we originally said because Zach forgot it was our late day. We got Zach in studio. Zach, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm going to be honest. I really don't care. I didn't get any reminders and went, I assume it's the normal. So here we go.
So I was just sitting, well, first off, I was actually home when he got here. Originally, I wasn't going to be, which was the whole reason we're going to do a late show. I'm just sitting there in my office playing Spider-Man. I just hear the gate to my house open, and I'm just like, is someone just walking into my backyard right now? And I didn't hear the dogs bark. I'm like, that's got to be Zach. I feel like it's got to be Zach. But it's all good. We managed to get the team together. We do have John here, but over Discord. John, how you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah. I wasn't coming over.
Yeah, I know. It was a very last second thing.
You told me I could stay home this week, and I'll be damned if I was leaving.
But you did leave.
Or at least leaving to go over there.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say, I mean,
honestly, could have went over there.
Don't blame you.
After I went to go pick up my drinks, chose not to.
I don't blame you, man. I would have stayed home too. I would just like, I'm gonna take the get out of jail free card and just stay at the house. But it's all good. So today, honestly, not an action-packed show, and that's fine. If we get out here a little early than usual, that's fine too. No big deal. It's mostly just Spider-Man. I've already dumped a lot of time into Spider-Man, and I'll talk about that. John has started. I don't know how far he is. We and him have not had a chance to chat. If Zach's got anything that he wants to kind of throw out there, then he can throw out. He openly already said to me before the show he's just here for support. So thank you. I appreciate you. But if you also want to talk about support, you can talk about supporting some Rogue Energy with our referral link down below and promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off, as well as go over to Agent Inc. with our referral link and pick up a jersey. So we have the best jerseys on the entire website. You can also join the Discord, check out our website, our merch store, everything of the sort. Let me hop over here and turn down the music, and we can look to actually get going with this thing. So how's everyone doing today? Everyone feeling good?
A Red Bull hat on the floor.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, get that out of the way. Thank you. What?
Fun race weekend, man.
Look at the road.
What?
The soundboard.
What about it?
Why is that button green?
Oh, no, it was fine.
Okay.
I knew it wasn't recording. It's going.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I was going to leave that alone and just hope for the best.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want another crash situation. Like, literally, as we are live with the starting tune music, the Rodecaster just took a dump, and I couldn't hear John anymore. It wasn't picking up on OBS, and I had to quickly restart it. So that's why I didn't start back up the recording. I didn't want to take another dump on me.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, how we feeling, boys? How we feeling today?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, too. How about you, John?
I'm all right.
All right.
Today went a lot quicker than I expected it to.
I agree.
Didn't get as much done as I wanted.
I have just sat on my ass since yesterday morning and played Spider-Man. I'll be very transparent. It's been really nice. Like, this is the first time in a while that I've had a weekend like this where I've done nothing. Because even when Starfield came out, I didn't spend that time on Starfield. You know what I mean? Probably the last time that I had a weekend like this was honestly probably Tears of the Kingdom release. I can't think of anything between then to now where I've just had a weekend like this. Oh, man, it's been relaxing. I've been working my ass off since June. So this has been really nice this weekend just to sit back and just enjoy this game. Tomorrow, literally, I'm doing nothing but playing Spider-Man, and I'm really pumped for that because my normal plans that I would do always on Sunday evenings did today. So tomorrow, all day Spider-Man, baby, and I'm looking forward to it. So for me, and the time that I've put into it, so exact hour count, I'm probably at least 20 hours for sure, probably closer to 25 in terms of like where I'm at with the main story. It does give you like a tracker in your missions for every quest line of how many there are. So I've completed 26 of 31. So I mean, I can very easily beat this game tomorrow if I want to, but I'm trying to do all the side content. I've completed like the Cult of the Flame quest line. I'm working on the Mysterio stuff right now, and I'm honestly just working on completing each zone of the map and getting it completely maxed out by doing all the stuff in it, all like crime stuff and everything of the sort. So I'm really trying to go to do everything I can right now. So we'll see if I end up beating it tomorrow, but I've definitely put enough time into the game to feel very confident to kind of give an opinion on almost every aspect of the game. There's still one thing that I'm going to leave up to let me finish the game and I'll kind of make a final decision on that. But John, what about you? I know that I know you haven't had as much time to dump into it like I have. How much time have you gotten into it so far?
Uh, prob. It can't be more than 5 hours,
Okay, so yeah, you're
and
still in the early
that would
beginnings.
be that's being generous as well. It's
Yeah.
probably under that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's just real early beginnings.
Yeah.
So
As
it's
far
right at
as
that sweet spot for him where he may just drop it.
It is. It could be
no,
that
no,
sweet
no,
spot.
no, that's a strict 8 hour mark.
Okay. So give it about 3 more hours tomorrow, and we'll see if John picks it back up going into the next episode.
But it's like I'll tell you just off this. If if moving around and traveling from place to place in some of these other games felt like it does in Spider-Man 2, probably still be playing them.
Yo, facts. Yeah, that's one of the big things that they definitely drove home with this game is just making traversal so much better. I've said this a million times, and I'm sorry to continue to sound like a broken record, but it's like what John said once about Spider-Man. It's like when you know you have a great traversal system when you have a fast travel option and you never fucking use it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that's what Spider-Man delivered on, and Spider-Man
Uh,
2 further delivered on that.
I was gonna say I just want to point out that we're talking about Spider-Man, and he's referencing my quote about Spider-Man.
Yep. Correct.
It's just an enhanced version of what we had before.
It really is.
Is the traversal system here, and it
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, as far as I'm doing kind of similar to you. I'm doing as much of the side content that pops up.
Hmm.
I'm pretty much going through and clearing everything out that I can see or that I can come across and find. And as far as like story missions go, it's like uh, you know how like what was it? I mean, I guess slight spoilers for very beginning of the game, kind of.
Mm.
You know when Craven shows up,
Yep.
how that's like it's like the second mission or like the first mission after the tutorial section.
Hmm.
I'm just past that
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you are
because
definitely very early.
I've been traveling around doing all of the side stuff. Like I've already finished, uh, like all the Marco stuff
Hmm.
in the beginning. I finished that.
So I think a mission or two after Venom officially appears is where I'm at. Venom is definitely in like the third act of the game, you know, because this game is very, you know, all games have this, you know, like different acts in the movies and everything, but this
Yeah.
game has a very clear cut off of what feels like Act One, Act Two, Act Three, just based on the stuff that transpires through the acts. You know what I mean? You know, where you have all the beginning stuff with Peter and Miles, and you know Harry is introduced very early. I don't obviously view that as a spoiler. He's in the fucking trailers, you know, but he get introduced very early, and you have all the stuff with them as their friend group, and Peter just trying to kind of figure out life, and Miles trying to figure out, you know, getting into college. Act two being like basically black suit Peter, and then Act three being like Venom and onward. I mean, so it's very clearly into three acts, and it's very in your face about it with how it is. But yeah, so you're still very early on for sure. But I mean, you know, in terms of just like general like gameplay, like the traversal and everything, the traversal's obviously incredible. They've completely, you know, gone above and beyond with it, with like the web wings and the jet streams to follow and everything. But like just in terms of like your feel for the game, you coming into it, are you coming into the game and getting like the same sort of like epic feeling that you got going into the first one, where you're just like, okay, I'm hooked. Like this is great. It feels great. You know, the narrative is gripping you. Do you kind of feel that way, or are you kind of like, we'll see?
I mean, narrative's not really gripping me yet, but I mean,
Okay,
it's also one of those where there's hard like where I'm at. It's hardly been narrative.
right.
The narrative for me so far has been go around and collect the sand crystals.
Yeah.
That's been the majority of it. It's like I've been slightly introduced to it. Uh, I will say I wasn't the biggest fan of like when Harry gets introduced and the whole sequence you have to go through there. Wasn't
Oh
the
yeah.
biggest fan of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but I mean, so far I mean, it feels like, it feels like Spider-Man, like Spider-Man from a couple years ago, but just upgraded.
Yeah.
I am liking it. I don't know how much more it becomes that way, but I'm liking how Miles is like, at least where I'm at, he's starting to become a wizard. In a sense, I like Wizard Miles.
Oh yeah. No, it definitely continues to go down that route where it's just like
Yeah,
his powers continue to evolve.
yeah, yeah. So it's like because I've mostly played as Miles at this point.
Oh really?
Just,
Okay.
I mean, it's just because like, yeah, you can switch between them, but I mean, Miles just felt better for doing all the Marco stuff
Right.
because like his powers just worked better against the sand creations.
True. And I will say for the switching, man, it's so
God
cool just doing it.
damn it, man! I just gotta get this out because we reference every now and then some of these games that make you do the fucking swiping on the controller pad.
Is that what it
Oh
does?
yeah. Oh yeah, for the camera stuff.
Well, it's like for the
And the
camera
phone.
stuff,
Oh, and the
for
phone. Yeah, the
opening
app.
the app, you have to
Yeah,
swipe
opening the
different
app.
directions for
Yes,
certain menus
that's
and
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
I like. We don't need it. It doesn't need to be a swipe like that.
Yeah, the touchpad on the PlayStation controllers has always been the sort of a novel thing that was like, is there.
Yeah.
None of
It's
us want to
like,
use it.
I still love the God of War Ragnarok one all fucking game long, and then one random sequence at the very end. It's like, all right, use the swipe pad. It's like, what?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as Spider-Man 2 introduced me to it, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
It's all game, baby. It's all game. Yeah, for your
Yeah.
camera and then for the phone. But no, when it comes to the swapping though, like it's so interesting because like you can really forget that you can just swap between them. You know what I mean? Just like you finish up a mission and it will usually preset you to one of the two,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then you can just free roam and do whatever. And like you can easily forget, like, oh, I can just swap to Peter real quick. Oh, I can swap to Miles real quick. Like even like once you're like into Act 2 with like the black suit, like there's like almost a feeling where I mean, obviously this is a big narrative aspect of the game where it is so heavily focused on Peter that in a sense I kind of forgot like I can swap to Miles because I thought Miles was busy. And I would like open the phone. I'm like, oh, I can swap to him. Cool. You know, because the game is so heavily focused on Peter in that moment. You know, Act 1 is like very balanced between them. You know, Act 2, like there's a lot of focus on like the story missions. There's a lot of focus on Peter, and you really can forget that you can swap between them. And that's an aspect that I find very interesting and just kind of funny at the same time. Is just the easy swap between them. You know, I will say one random thing with traversal. So with the fast travel thing, I did try it once just out of curiosity. Dude, it really is like 1 second, 2 seconds. Like you can be all the way on this side of the map and
I've
down to
seen it.
here.
I've seen only praise for it.
Dude, it's so quick. Because like it's one of those things where it's like even whenever I get quest missions that it's like I'm on this side of New York and it wants me to go over to across the river and I'm like, 4,000 plus away. Like I still fly and swing my way over there because it's fun. But there was one time I got one of those sort of situations with Peter. I'm like, why not? Let's go through the fast travel real quick. Yeah, literally 2 seconds, and like wherever you pick on the map, that's where you come in, and it's just like, oh, dude, that feels so clean, and it's like even though I'm not going to use it that often, like the fact that that it's there and it's so clean and efficient the way that it is, it gets me like such like butterfly feelings of that was one of those random little moments. I know it's not a game breaking thing of like we really are finally stepping into the current generation. You know what I mean? With this game being a PS5 only. Because this game not being on PS4, like, they've said time and time again, like, we wanted to go PS5 only to utilize SSD and make the game more dense and more alive and have all these options. So it's like, it's such a dumb little thing for me, but it's like when I did that fast travel, it's just like, we're here. We're finally getting there. Because even though we're 3 years past the console launch, we're still in a weird cross-gen phase.
Yes.
So it's like that, just a little thing like that. It felt really cool to me, just with how quick and seamless it was. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say another nice little touch because you were talking about being able to swap between them freely.
Yeah.
Man, one of the nicest touches I will say to this game is if you're just kind of swinging around or going around doing your thing, just exploring, having like not really having a plan to do anything.
Yeah.
and like there's crimes that pop up. You go stop the crimes.
Do you have to
Every
get
now and then,
children's lost
the other
balloons?
Spider-Man just shows up.
Not yet. I don't think so. I don't think that one's in this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Just every now and then, like if you're playing as Miles, every now and then Peter will just show up
Yep.
to help you fight whatever crime it is, or vice versa.
Yep.
And it's like they have a little witty banter, and then as soon as it's over, they kind of wave to you and they go off swinging down to stop some other crimes.
That's a nice little
It's-
touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like it just makes you feel like, oh, there are actually two Spider-Man in the city.
Exactly.
It's like we do kind of go off and do our own things. Every now and then we end up in the same spot.
Yeah, and that's so cool to me, man. Because it's like you just come in and say, "Hey, man, you need some help?" Oh, yeah, sure, that'd be great. And then you finish it up, and like you can they'll either wave and they go separate ways, or you can walk up and interact. And they do the Spider-Man point at each other, and they just laugh and kind of walk away. But John, I will say this, involving that exact situation, the one that blew me away. It's such a little thing, but it's just like this really does. This city feels alive because of this. Is once you get introduced to Yuri again, you can find Yuri fighting crime out in the wild. So like I come up to I heard whatever the crime was, like the Cult of the Flame or like robbers or whatever, and there's Yuri. Like you're coming up and Miles is just like, "Oh hey man," and she's like, "Ma'am," and it's just like, "That's Yuri! Oh my god, she's in the city doing shit." Like it's like it feels alive. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing like where I'm at now. It definitely happened before where I'm at now. Like, John, you'll see it well before where I'm at, but now it happens a lot. Is that I will go to a crime scene and it's like I'm going to, I don't want to say what I'm going to fight because I want people to, be surprised by that, even though it's
Going
a
to
heavy
fight an unidentified creature.
Thank you. Going to fight this set of crime by unidentified creatures, and then Kraven's hunters also show up out of nowhere. Like they show up to also fight them and fight me, and it's just like this feels so alive. You know what I mean? Like it really does feel like you're in like a Marvel comic book of where it's like in the Spider-Man world where all this crazy shit happens in New York all the fucking time. You know what I mean? It's like it truly feels alive because like with the Yuri thing. I've already finished her quest line, which is the Cult of the Flame, and I was kind of worried. I was like, am I just never going to see her again? Nope, I just saw her again just earlier. I just came up to a crime scene, and she's sitting there fighting, and I'm just like, oh, it's Yuri again. What's up?
So, have they announced any DLC for this Spider-Man yet?
No, they haven't announced anything yet.
So, with you saying that is making the city alive, because like one of the big things with like the Spider-Man 1 DLC was like the whole Black Cat stuff.
Yep.
So, you think they're going to have another Black Cat or one of the other vigilante / hero partners of Spidey will be introduced in the DLC and they'll just start popping up throughout the city?
That's a great question. Like if they wanted to go down a route where like a character like, maybe like someone from the Defenders or like, like Daredevil, or Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, or Iron Fist, maybe something like that. Yeah, sure. The one thing they've definitely added in this game that was not in the last game is Fantastic Four Tower.
Okay.
So that's there. Obviously, Avengers Tower is still there.
Okay.
Black Cat, she had a very brief moment in the game for me. So just any Black Cat fans, go ahead and temper your expectations on her involvement with the game. It is very brief. And now she is away. She's doing her thing. She's alive and well. Very well actually. She's in good shape. So like I'm curious what the DLC would be because like if they do DLC, I have one very random fear, and I don't think they would because I mean we look at Spider-Man 1, right, where they did not give you the black suit because they openly said we think the black suit's a lot more important than just to give you an alternate suit in the game. We want to make it the storyline, which is the whole reason it was in the first game. So there's one particular very major character that is in this game in one of the side storylines, and he disappears, and I really hope he doesn't become a DLC.
The Wall?
No. I hope he becomes part of obviously the third game. Because in my opinion, I have a very strong feeling on where the third game is going. And I have actually already seen one of the end credits. I also know some other characters involved that are already present in the game, though. So I already have a general idea of where the third game could go, but I just hope one particular character doesn't get sidelined to obviously would be a pretty sweet, extensive DLC. It'd probably be a 3-parter, similar to what this one was, where the Turf War stuff was really, that was all one cohesive storyline, really.
Yeah.
The 3 parts. But I just hope his character does not get just shoved to that. Like he deserves to have a main spotlight in the third game. He's a very major character. So I will be curious to see what they do with a DLC. Like what characters would they involve? Because there's obviously so many characters in the Spider-Man universe, and alone that you could pull from, and you've already kind of implemented other Marvel characters. The Santorums in the city that you can go. You see, so Doctor Strange and Wong, which in an indirect way, Wong does make a special appearance in this game with a single little note. It was a quick mission very early in the game. You do something for a character, and whenever Miles is holding it, it disappears because it was from the Santorum, and a note reappears in his hand. It's just like, hey, thanks, we owe you one. Me and the doctor were in another country. From Wong, and then the note disappears. It's like, okay, all right, that's cool. That's a cool little addition. So there's so much like more life that they can further get out of this, and I can definitely see where they have continued to plant the seeds in so many ways of like big like things to come, with how alive the city is and the storylines and how alive they are. And in terms also of just like the city being alive and the game feeling alive, I want to really praise just the immense amount of attention to detail, where it's like Yuri, who is a vigilante, being involved with city stuff, and fighting and everything, and then just attention to detail with random little side quests. You know what I mean? That's just like the most like random little thing, and it's like a lot bigger than you think it would be. Like there's one side quest with Miles, from the Spider app that gets introduced in the Miles Morales game, where this girl is trying to find her grandfather. He wandered off. He needs his medicine. Don't know where he is. So you just kind of do the little trailing, to find him with scanning and stuff. You end up finding him just sitting on a bench, and Miles sits down with him. And it's like legit, like IRL. It's like 5 minutes of Miles just sitting there.
So long.
I loved it. Like
it wasn't bad. It just like it went on for longer than I was
expecting.
Yeah, because all it was the dude talking about like this is the spot where he proposed to his wife. And the whole thing about it, it's just like, oh, well, we just had to go to the zoo. We did this, how great his wife was, how much. It's just so wholesome. And it's just like, all right, I didn't expect it to be like a 5. I was like, okay, I'll be here like a minute and move on. But no, it kept going. And I was fine with it keep going because like that's like a little attention to detail stuff. You know what I mean? Because like that sort of stuff, that happens in the comics like all the freaking time of Spider-Man talking to a kid and just like them, Spider-Man is being a good person. You know what I mean? And there was another.
I think I did that as Peter.
Oh, did you do that one as Peter? I did that one as Miles for me.
I think I did it as Peter.
That's very wholesome though. You know what I mean? Like either way, it doesn't matter if it's Peter or Miles. It's just a wholesome thing. There was one side quest as well that was again. It just like I loved the attention to detail. Where it was a Miles one involving graffiti. There was someone he said something about graffiti, so you go over there. And it's like I think a flower stand, and on the wall behind there was this beautiful art piece that was done, and Miles came over thinking that it was a bad situation. He's like, oh no, this looks great. I wish I could tell the artist how great it looks. And then the guy's like, oh well, you can. There she is, and it's the girls that Miles likes, Haley, from that gets introduced in her game, and she's deaf. So she's doing the sign language. She's like, oh, let me tell you the story, whatever. So you actually have a random mission where you play as Haley. And the thing that I loved about it is like the attention to detail to her being deaf, where it's like the game is muffled. You can't it's a noticeably a muffled sound. You cannot hear anything as she's walking around doing the hand signals, whatever. Like she has like different like artistic, like almost like emojis that are above her head displaying the current emotion that she is feeling, whether it's like frustration, worry, happiness, love, whatever, going through this quick little mission. Of like, drawing these art pieces around the different parts of this little area. You shake the controller to shake the spray can and stuff. It was just cool, man. It was just like a cool little attention to detail stuff. And like, those are just a couple of examples, but like, this is like literally the entire game is just riddled with little things to make the game feel alive and show the attention to detail and the passion put into it. Where it's like I put for today's episode's title, it's like I feel like this game is like a love letter to fans of Marvel and Spider-Man, obviously specifically. There's obviously Marvel, aspects to it, just like, with the Fantastic Four tower being added, Avengers still being there, etc. But like, it really does just feel like a massive love letter. I referenced earlier that there was like one aspect that's like, all right, let me finish the game first before I kind of judge on that one. The only thing that I guarantee you, I'm on an island with this one. The only thing that's I'm not going to say is like ungodly perfect is the overall narrative. I really enjoy it. Let me stress that. It is incredible. But I actually think I like the first game more in terms of the actual main story. That's just my personal preference. We'll see when I beat the game if my opinion changes. But like, if I had to like give like say number of grades, I would say like first Spider-Man for me was like an 11 out of 10. This one's still like a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? But like, it's just like I just like the first one more so far. But the narrative is still incredible. But outside of the narrative, I mean, top to bottom, from everything that I've done, all the side missions and stuff, all of the main story, just all of the kind of just dicking around the city and exploring and seeing different points of interest and everything like that. Like, that's like what John said. This game is just top to bottom. It's just like an upgraded, better version of what we already had. Like, it's just like, it is to me a love letter to the fans. That's the way that I've perceived it. I think it's some of Insomniac's best work. I think they completely nailed it out of the park with this game. Like, that's how I feel, being like almost close to beating the game, where I could beat the game tomorrow if I wanted to at this rate. But
now that he has gushed about the game for a long time,
yep,
I do have to bring up, because I've played the game for, like I said, less than 5 hours at this point.
Yep.
My game has soft locked me twice.
I was going to touch on a couple things there. Yeah.
You can, there are certain I got soft locked like in the mission where Craven comes like officially shows up in the city. And your mission is defend the raft. I defeated the final enemy. They're dead. They got drowned in the water. But I knocked them off. I was having fun because it's like I don't remember doing it in the first game. You can just chain like the web swinging kick. You just chain those on people and just carry them for a long fucking ways. So I just was seeing how far away off the raft I could carry him. The last enemy that I needed to defeat was the one that I carried off. But in that mission, if you go too far away from the raft or too far away from the area you're supposed to defend, the game will automatically, you don't have control over it. It'll automatically web sling you back to the area that you're in, or you're supposed to be defending. But I defeated the last enemy when I was too far away from it twice and soft locked my game twice. It just would not progress. It was waiting on more enemies to be there, and there were no more.
So I've had a few different like random bugs like that too. There was
like, and for me, I had to quit out and restart.
Yeah, so I've continued to notice very minor bugs. Like, thankfully, they've all been minor. I have had one game crash, I will say that, and the game crash happened right after I saw probably the biggest bug I've seen so far. But like, I've had like So have you come across the tech chest yet?
Chest?
Huh?
Chest?
Yeah, it's just a random chest you can find laying around the city. You just open up, it's got some tech parts for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I finished doing some crime.
Oh yeah, where you level up as you open the chest. Is that what you're talking about?
No, in this particular case, I could not open the chest. It would not open no matter what, because it happened to be in the area where crime took place. And when I finished the crime, it just would not let me open the chest.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah. No, I finished a crime as I opened the chest, got the experience leveled up as I opened the chest, and my game froze for about 40 seconds.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, it's definitely got some bugs that will need to get patched, but it hasn't been anything that's completely ruining an experience. The biggest one that I've seen, and I took a picture of it because I just thought it was like, okay, that's what am I looking at? It was a building, a very tall building, mind you, wasn't like one of the taller ones in the game, where it was literally nothing but the windows. Like the actual building was gone. You could see through it. It was literally just windows, all just floating in the air. Is all it was. And I noticed that. I'm like, huh, okay, all right, take a picture of that. And then about 20 seconds later, my game crashed.
Oof.
So it is what it is. I've seen there was I was playing as Peter, and I came up to an area where that was had some Miles side missions, and his backpack, Miles's backpack, was just floating in the air. So like right here, the backpack was over here was the pole it was supposed to be hanging on, because whenever I hit the button to swap Spider-Man and Miles came up, the backpack was back on the pole. But when I came up again, the backpack was just floating in the air away from the pole that it was supposed to be hanging on. So I've seen like little bugs like that.
I've also had like for a couple instances of where you like you're taking the photos of New York,
Yeah.
like the points of interest there, where you're taking photos of it, where ones that are like street level, where you actually have to be on the street to take the picture of it.
Right.
Where it's like I was just trying to take a picture of it from across the road because I was trying to go to take care of a sand crystal, and it happened to be right next to it. I was like, okay, well, I'll take a picture of this real quick, and it was lit up green saying it was good to go. As soon as I snapped the photo, a car whipped past, and it didn't count the photo towards it, and like
What luck.
I couldn't take the photo again. Like it just wouldn't.
So it processed it, but it wouldn't accept it since it wasn't
didn't
actually in the photo.
Yeah.
It didn't accept it because of whatever reason, and then I couldn't retake the photo. I mean, I could take as many pictures as I wanted, but they wouldn't count for it. And it's like I'd go back there every now and then and try to do it. It took about 2 hours for me to be able to take that photo again.
No, that's messed up.
That's unfortunate. That's
So
such unlucky.
it was just one where I was like, I mean, while I was doing that, I was just going around doing Marco's storyline because I actually really enjoyed that one.
I liked Marco's a lot.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his. Like as soon as I did got the first one, I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'm immediately doing all of these that I find.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that, because honestly, one recommendation that I would have to anyone that has not played the game yet, that's getting it soon or whatever the case is, like once you're able to do the Marco stuff, in my opinion, go ahead and do that like immediately. I know you got to go all around the city for it, but like getting all of those tidbits of story about what Marco was dealing with and going through, it further sets like almost like just what is to come for you. You know what I mean? Like before you actually know it, because I finished it after I'm already in the Craven storyline and everything like that, right? But if you do it well before things really, really kick off, like I mean, if you're still doing it when Craven appears, that's all good. But if you do it like before the story really gets going, I don't know, it just kind of adds to it. You know what I mean? Adds to what's to come. Kind of puts a different perspective on what is coming exactly. But no, I really enjoyed his. I enjoyed the Cult of the Flame. Mysterio's is not necessarily a storyline per se. Mysterio's is like one of those situations, like in the last game, where you like the Taskmaster test challenges, or whatever that bitch in Miles Morales was called. I don't remember her name.
Okay.
I don't remember her name, but it was the same thing as Taskmaster. It was like just a bunch of challenges. I don't remember her name though. But that's basically what Mysterio stuff is. I will say Mysterio looks sick though. Like I love his design and the Insomniac universe. It looks really cool.
He's a fishbowl.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's a good looking fishbowl.
Okay, if you say
I
so.
wanted, Alex, I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the new, like, I don't want to necessarily call them challenges or puzzles or anything, just like when you're doing some of these, the new interactive ways you have to like uh do the searching around and that. Like I just got the mission where you can travel around and like find the secret areas to get the additional tech
Yeah.
for Miles early.
Yep.
How you feel about like hold the triggers down to a certain pressure for each for each one that you're having to do, and like the new ways they're having us do shit like that.
So for that one in particular, the trigger one, I don't feel positive or negative about it. I really don't. It's just like I mean, this is kind of annoying. It is what it is. The one little like a little side thing. Challenges. We'll call it challenges. I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know the right way to call it, but the one that I actually do enjoy is the one where it's like all of the different, like basically like the DNA one, and with the corruptions, you got to blow up the corruptions.
I
I like
did
that one.
okay. That one, the man, because you get introduced to that one in the when you're going to find the grandpa in the mission you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And man, in that mission, they really escalate that very quickly because it's basically just destroy the bad DNA from the good DNA is kind of how it is, and uh, and don't just try not to destroy any of the good ones. But it goes from like a small where there's like 6 or 7 little nodes that you're trying to like total that you're dealing with to like 10, and then the third part it's like there's like 40 of them and it's in 3D suddenly, so you have to like rotate it around and look at it, which immediately when it popped up I was like, well, that escalated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed that one too. That one,
Yeah.
like that one's, it's not hard, but it's also kind of cool.
See, I enjoyed all of those in the first game personally. I thought they were. I just thought they were dumb little. Like, okay, this is kind of fun. I like this.
Yeah, so far I haven't like the couple little ones because it's like these little challenges. They're just slight. They didn't want to do the same ones that they did in the first game,
Yeah, yeah. Which
so they
which
gave
is
us
fine.
different ones. I mean, they're kind of whatever.
Yeah.
So far one's cool, one's not with me.
Yeah. I do also just want to do like a general praising of like the overall performance by all of the motion capture and all the voice actors of the game. They've just, yeah, they've completely nailed the game in that regard. Because like, there's one. This is very very random, and I apologize. I just want to shout it out because I really did just enjoy it. I thought it just made me laugh. I have a dumb sense of humor. I don't know, but it was just one of trademark Peter Spider-Man quips, jokes in a situation. I don't view it as a spoiler because this one's in the trailer. It's just the next part of said trailer where it's like you see Peter and there's a dude that comes, one of Craven's hunters comes up, and in the trailer, Peter's like, I didn't know there were bears in these woods. It was that situation. So like when that particular like hunter comes up to Peter and Peter says that, and like I think like Peter like dodges out of the way, whatever, and Peter's just like, I have something to tell you, and then he whispers, he's like, I'm all out of honey. And then the dude just blows him across the room into the next area where they fight. And Peter stands up. He's like, I thought it was funny. Like just shit like that. I mean, they just like nailed the performances across the board. Lots of good quips and jokes throughout everything. It's like when John mentioned earlier, like when the Spider-Man can just like meet out in the wild, just like they have like their general banter with each other and stuff. So just top to bottom,
Yeah.
they've nailed it in that regard.
I will say so far like 95% of like the voice acting has been great. Every now and then for like just the random encounter, like police encounters, or where you're going to stop crime and that, and then you have to take the pedestrian to the ambulance or the hospital or something.
Yeah.
Man, on some of those, it's like it's just like one line or like 2 lines here and there where like you pick them up or like you're dropping them off and they try to say something to you and it's just a quick response. Man, some of those are just phoned in.
Yeah. No, 100%.
It's like and it's just like every time it happens, I'm like, yeah, they were done that day.
Yeah, they were ready. They were ready to go.
It's like I it's like it's not bad voice acting or anything. It's just it's not the best takes everywhere, and there's just something charming about it.
Yeah, no, it is.
Where it's like in a sea of it being really good, the couple times where it's like, yeah, they just kind of phoned some of these lines in because it's like it's gonna happen 1,000 times.
I was about to say they probably had a crap ton of lines, so
Yeah,
a couple
Yeah,
are gonna slip
it's
in there.
Yeah, it's just like every now and then. I mean, it just speaks to it where you can pick out the 1 or 2 instances here and there where it's like, yeah, that one sticks out just because it was funny.
yeah. Also, one other thing that I just want to kind of throw out, very random again. It's just more on that notch to attention to detail. So I thought this was just kind of interesting. This was after I've already got like the black suit for Peter and everything. I have not gotten to like the main story of when Peter is not in black suit form, and he's wearing like black clothes, like he's gone like goth mode or whatever. So I was just doing like a side mission before I ever hit that main mission. Side mission that really I probably should have done earlier in the game. I just thought it was a cool little attention to detail where in that side mission Peter gets out of suit, and I notice as soon as he comes out I'm already wearing like full black, like black shirt and pants. I'm like, oh, that's okay. So that's kind of a nice little attention to detail that even though I haven't got to the main mission of where he comes out of the symbiote suit, in the symbiote, and he's wearing dark clothing, whatever, to show his new personality change.
Bully McGuire.
Yeah, Bully McGuire, which shout out to that suit being in the game. I don't know, just a random little thing, because again, it was a mission that was, was available way earlier, and I just didn't do it. And it already kind of presets you to like, okay, you're going to change into this. You're going to be, you're your darker half right now. So it's like, okay, it's just little things like that just make me happy, around the game and around the city and stuff. But yeah, shout out to Bully McGuire though. You can get that suit.
Right. Also, remember while you're playing Spider-Man, always be using the Spider-Man controller.
Bingo. That's true. That's all I use now.
It's not all I use. This is the first time I used it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for Spider-Man. Since that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like when Ragnarok came out. I only played it with the Ragnarok controller.
Right.
Did you play Redfall with your Redfall controller?
I don't know if I had. No, because I didn't play with controller. I played a mouse keyboard actually.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have.
Yeah. Shout out to the Redfall controller. That dumpster fire of a game, but they had cool looking controllers.
I think they have one concurrent player left.
God, it's like Babylon's Fall.
Yep, cool controllers.
Just shit game. Oh. John, do you have any other thoughts on Spider-Man that you want to throw out there? I've kind of like gotten the majority of mine now. I'll do another recap next week when I beat it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of let you go for the most part just because, like I said, I'm like 5 hours in.
Yeah.
It's like main story-wise, I've done very little. I've been swinging and flying around the city, just doing like pretty much any time a crime happens, I've been stopping it. I've been trying to get all the photos that I can around there. Like I said, I've already done Marco's storyline. I'm probably gonna just swing around and open up all these like secret doorways and stuff to complete that since they're on the map now. But yeah, I'm just kind of doing stuff as it comes up. And also like I can't stand like the fog of war on the map when you open it up. So I've been having to swing around and like completely uncover it.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get that.
So yeah, it's like that's mostly what I've been doing so far. But yeah, the one thing I will say is, man, you gotta give them credit for the like tutorial sequence that you go through.
Oh, dude.
With Sandman and everything. 'Cause Zach, imagine God of War style opening boss fights.
Okay.
I'm talking like old school God of War, like you're fighting Poseidon.
Okay.
That's like imagine that, but you're Spider-Man swinging through a city.
Okay, that's sort of nice. I mean, that's sort of fitting because I mean, Spider-Man 1 sort of set it up real nice with the whole Kingpin fight right at the beginning, which is sort of cinematic when you're falling through the building, going through the different support walkways.
Yeah. No, this one's a lot bigger.
I mean, that's what I'm getting. And they're probably really showing off the PlayStation 5 of what it can use, and it's the sort of their ideals. So
because like many
you
missions
go across
after that,
whole city,
yeah,
and it's like there's destruction across it everywhere.
Yes.
And a lot of times in games like that, like the opening sequence, the destruction happens, and you come out of it, and everything's fine. Nope.
No.
It stays destroyed for a while.
Many missions after, there is still sand in the city. You'll find it on the roads. The cars just driving around it and stuff, and that is pretty sick. Because with the John is nailing it on the head with the opening cinematic, opening sequence, opening mission, whatever. It is awesome. Like it throws you into the game in the best way possible. I also love how it got set up too. Just so you know, Zach. So, Peter is trying to get a new job as like a teacher, or whatever, and
Okay.
he's at Miles' school, and he's actually going to be teaching in Miles' class.
Okay.
And so he's in there. He's starting to. He was already late. First off, naturally, and the principal's already like, "You're late." So Peter starts trying to get started and stuff, and that's when Miles kind of notices like sand outside the window, and Miles just stands up. He's like, "Bathroom," and Peter's like, "Okay, all right, go do your thing." And Miles leaves. Whatever. Peter starts trying to continue the class. About a few seconds later, Miles comes. Just like he comes and he just yells, "I need your help!" And everyone obviously just assumes it's bathroom related. And Peter's like, "Are you sure this is something that you can't handle yourself?" And Miles is like, "I'm sure. I need your help." So that was a pretty funny way to just kind of immediately jump into the game like that. They come out of the classroom. It's like Peter's just like, "Miles, I need this job. I will get fired if I leave." And Miles is like, "Just trust me. You just come up to the roof."
He's like, "Come with me. You need to see this."
Yeah, so they get up to the roof, and you just see from across the river, just a giant like thing of sand. And Peter's just like, "Really, Marco, today?" So the beginning was pretty peak. I ain't gonna lie. It was really solid in that regard. Which
It was just an opening sequence of them going, let us show you what we can do.
yeah, it really was. Like it was on the forefront, 100%. Loved it, man.
I mean, makes me look forward for Wolverine since that's their next project, right?
Yep, that is the next one in line. I have my own speculation on what I think it's very straightforward personally, but on what the next like Spider-Man universe games are going to be. But the next Insomniac inline project is Wolverine. So, very much looking forward to that. Especially since it's PS5 only. I'm very excited to see what they can do with Wolverine. Put the power behind of the PS5, but.
And giving that opportunity, it's Wolverine, so they're allowed a lot more blood and gore.
Oh, I know, right? Dude, that's gonna be sick. I'm excited for
It's
it.
probably gonna be brutal.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to getting back inside and playing Spider-Man here soon. Play it for a while tonight and play it all day tomorrow. Because the one thing that I just continue to love is like all the side missions. I did one earlier, for Howard from the first game, the pigeon guy.
Okay.
Man, that mission. That's all I'll say. That mission. What a good mission. What a good mission. John, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that. What a good mission that one was. Great side missions, man. This game's got great side content. I'm here for it. Anything else we want to throw out there involving Spider-Man, John?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like at this point,
We'll recap it next
like,
week.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like I could only say so much about it with the time I have put into it.
Yeah.
Lightning Wizard Miles is pretty cool.
True. Got a lot of cool suits too. Miles does.
Dude, there's so many fucking suits in this game.
I know, man.
Like like I said, I've only played it for like 5 hours, and I've got like, it feels like 100 options.
Yeah, dude. The one thing that the two things that I'm the most happy about, and if you want to be, and you've somehow managed to avoid this online and you don't want to be spoiled, I'm sorry, I'm about to say it. So the two things that I'm most excited are in the game. One, the cat suit from Miles Morales comes back, where he's got the orange cat in the backpack. So I'm real happy that one's back. That's awesome. Love that. And then two, of course, my boy, Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is in the game, and you get it very early. For everyone,
I'm rocking it.
Yeah, there you go. For anyone curious, you get it at like level 10. So you get that shit early.
Yep. As soon as I saw that I had it, I put it on.
Oh, yeah, me too. I love that suit, man. That suit's so good.
It's one of my favorite.
Yeah, so happy.
I love it.
No, like there's so many cool ass suits, dude. Of that's nods to like other characters and stuff like that. I mean, like if we're talking just DLC, of course they have like a Sun Wukong suit for Peter, which is so random but still cool. There's a Kamen Rider suit for Miles, which is really cool. Shout out to that. But then like Miles, he has two different suits that are nods to other Marvel characters. One of them is so sick. Once I got it unlocked, there's a Black Panther inspired suit dude, so cool. And like they have all the colors that make like perfect sense across the board. So they have like, you know, the black and red one for Miles. You know, they have like a black and purple one and all black and like a black and yellow for like Killmonger or whatever. Dude, it's so cool. So cool. Love the suits in this game, dude. The suits in the game is awesome. Peter's got a lot of good ones too. I like the Scarlet 3 a lot. Well, you get that very early. I like the Scarlet 3.
I will say, I don't remember what the actual suit that I had on was, but I've been unlocking all the suits as soon as they become available to me. And man, just by happenstance, I've had some pretty cool looking stuff just by like the color combination and stuff that I was wearing.
Yeah.
Because one of the variations to a suit that you can have, it's like it almost looks like like a platinum or silver for the majority of it, and then like lime green for like the spider emblem and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I had that on during the mission where Craven and them show up. So like the encounter with like a scorpion and that happen at the same time, and it just looked fucking sick.
Right.
With Scorpion there and like swinging out his tail, picking you up and stuff like that, while wearing that suit. It was just it was an awesome color combination that happened to happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. Was that the superior suit or is that one of the other ones?
I think it was one of the other ones because I don't know. I don't think I had the superior one. I think I unlocked it immediately afterwards.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know what my favorite suit's in the game yet because I haven't finished unlocking everything. The one suit that I'm looking forward to unlocking just because, like, I don't know, I just like it. I'm glad it's in the game, and I'm glad it looks as great as it does from the pictures I've seen, is the classic black suit is in the game. Like, like from the actual comics where it's literally just black with the white, or it's just pure like a purplish tint with the white. So I'm looking forward to unlocking that one. I unlocked the Bully Maguire black web suit during Act 2 with all the, the black suit Peter stuff. But I couldn't bring myself to put it on, man, because like there reaches a point during Act 2 where like the black suit that you've got just transforms itself just slightly enough where it just looks that much more like demonic almost, where it's like the original one that we've seen, it's like where all the spider legs are like tightly close together. We've seen what the eyes look like and everything. And then it's like once a certain like thing happens, you see all the legs like kind of widen apart, like the Venom logo. You see his eyes start to like kind of get like a little spiky and stuff. And it's just like, dude, it just looks so cool. So I couldn't bring myself to change it, man. It just had a different hit to it. So, well, anyway, we'll follow up on Spider-Man next week. So next week for sure for episode 150. That we've got nothing special planned for. Normally we do something for these episodes, 50, 100. We got nothing for this one. So there's a project that I've been working on that will still come out, but at this point I'm probably not going to tie it in with like, oh, we hit 150 episodes 3 months ago. Here's this project. I'm just going to still do the project no matter what, because it's going to be a good project for the brand. I'd be dumb not to do it. I think it's a really good idea. I want to challenge myself. I finally have fucking free time again, so I'm going to do it. So I don't know what we're going to do next week for anything special for 150. Probably, obviously nothing. It'll probably be business as usual. May ask, I guess, a question. We may answer. We may do some sort of general question, involving the show. I don't know. We'll figure something out. It won't be anything like we're not going to take 20 minutes on this. We may take 5 minutes acknowledging that we hit 150. So shout out to that. But we'll do a recap on Spider-Man 2 next week because I'll have it beat by then. John should have it either beat or just obviously a lot more time in. And I also, next Friday, am going to see Five Nights at Freddy's. So I will talk about that to some extent without giving a lot of spoilers. But it's FNAF, so you pretty much know kind of what happens. It's just a horror movie. So shout out to that. And then whatever else happens throughout the week, we'll see. Zach, you got anything that you want to chat about? Anything that you've been up to in particular this past week? I know you said Discord earlier you really didn't have anything, but I still wanted to ask. I feel like it'd be the polite thing to do.
One thing that is coming out, could talk about next week.
What's that?
UFC 5.
Oh, yeah. You picking that up day one, I guess?
Maybe.
Okay. Wait, they're still making UFC games?
Yeah. UFC 5's coming out.
Okay.
I didn't know it was this week. I knew it was coming out.
Yeah, 27th.
I mean, I got really nothing. Oh, besides playing Fate Go, the only other thing I messed with is a sort of, I think it was $7-8 game called God of Weapons. It's just a roguelite resource management where you manage your backpack space, which equips weapons and items that auto attack for you, and you just sort of dodge the waves of enemy to survive the time for each floor, and just the more you kill, you level up, so you can get more bag space. And more or less, you just run until you either die or you complete that tower difficulty.
Right. Yeah, I've seen you playing that a lot here recently. You've just been busy a lot recently, haven't you? Yeah.
I'll be very honest. That game you can get a build for it because I'm pretty sure I cleared 2 floors while asleep.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident I did because I just remember waking up and going, "How did I level up?"
Well, that happened. I've within the last month, like I mentioned to you before we started, I've gotten pretty heavy back into Marvel Snap, mostly just because of vacation. Standing in line, standing in queues for roller coasters or whatever attraction or haunted houses, just kill some time, play a couple rounds.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a lot of that. I've gotten the highest rank I've ever gotten though with a Nimrod deck that I stole from someone. They beat my ass with it, and I'm just like, I want to do that. So I've been having fun with that. I love all the tarot card skins they've got. Oh my god, dude, they are so good. I want all of them, but Jesus Christ, it's gonna be a lot of money because there's a lot. There's 20 plus of these fucking things. They look so good, dude. So I guess shout out to Marvel Snap. Still having fun with that one. It's just a good little free time game. I'll play it at work here and there. I haven't played TFT much recently.
I was gonna say also just wanted to give another shout out. I talk about it about once a month or every couple episodes or something. Battle Bit Remastered on Steam. Continue playing it. I play it at least a little bit every week or every couple weeks or something. It's the low poly Battlefield type game that I've talked about every now and then. 127 versus 127. A lot of fun. Getting regular updates and everything too. Already a bunch since it's come out, a bunch of new maps. They have community servers, constant updates. So it's one of those where if you like the Battlefield style game, it's not necessarily it's not a graphical game, but that's because that's so they can have the amount of people in the game and have as good a gun mechanics as they have.
Right.
So it's one of those where every now and then I'm gonna have to shout it out because the game is fantastic.
And you should 100% check it out.
Yeah, it is. It is great.
Yeah. How much is it? Or it's free to play, right?
No,
it's not free to play. It's not free to play.
I think it's like $15. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's $15.
Got to get it. You got to pick it up. That's a good $15 purchase for people. Got to pick it up.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It can be extremely chaotic, which is part of the fun.
I'm picking up some horror games here soon. There's a big
idea.
It sounds like a good idea to me. I think you should play with me. There's a Halloween sale on Xbox and PlayStation right now, and I was looking at it. I'm gonna finally get the Dark Pictures Anthology Season 1, all 4 games for $50. So I'm really excited for that one. Zach has talked to me about them for literally years since they've come out, and I've been wanting to play them. So I'm finally glad I'm picking up all 4 at once for a nice price. The Blair Witch game, completely forgot that was a thing. I'm gonna pick that up. Did not know there was a Paranormal Activity game. Gonna buy that. Me and John, one of our things that we used to do all the time was watch Paranormal Activity movies. So I want. Apparently, that game is incredible in VR, from what I was seeing. It is also a non-VR game, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out too. We might do a spooky Halloween related video on Halloween Day. You may see something post up on our YouTube page for us playing some spooky game of some sort. So basically, I have between now and whenever we do that recording to convince John to come do it with us.
If not, I have a dumb project that I may put together, which is going to slightly depress me.
Is it the thing you showed me?
Yes, it's exactly
Oh
the
my
thing that I showed you.
Jesus Christ, Zach.
It's $9.
Zach. Oh, dear Lord. Well, if you do that, I'll be looking forward to it.
All right.
Boys, we got anything else we really want to chat about? And we happen to be like an hour plus in, so if we want to go and hit my very lackluster weekly wrap up.
Omega Strikers just released a new striker,
Shout out to that.
Neo.
Shout out to that.
Korean Corp finally has their full team.
Nice.
Other than that, I got nothing.
I was still enjoying Cyberpunk for Spider-Man, so shout out to that. Didn't beat it, but I was still very much enjoying it. Look forward to continuing that at some point. Still, there's one random little thing I want to shout out just because like this irritates the shit out of me because there was a small little brief window where it didn't do this, and now it's back to doing it. And I happen to like just see like, all right, am I the fuck up here? Or is it still Sony's the fuck up here? And I was looking at like some Reddit questions, and apparently no. In like 2022 and 2023, Sony's still the fuck up here. It just irritates the piss out of me whenever I have that PS4 game, right, with the free PS5 upgrade, and every time my PlayStation starts, it will try to install the PS4 game.
Yes.
There was a brief window where it did not do that for, let's say, Cyberpunk being the great example.
Okay.
Like, I think it was like about probably a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I tried to do another Cyberpunk run that I didn't end up finishing, where I was able to put the disc in to access me playing the PS5 version, because you got to have the disc in to play that PS5 version, and it wouldn't try to install the PS4 version. But now it's just like every time I turn on my PS5 again, it tries to install the PS4 version, and I'm just like, please stop. Sony, please stop this.
Never.
Make this stop. It just annoys the shit out of me. Anyway. We'll hit the weekly wrap-up. We'll get out of here. No big deal. It is a very short weekly wrap-up, so that's fine. So the first thing I just want to shout out is Mario Brothers Wonder reviews are incredible.
Yeah, no, that hit ridiculously hard.
95 on Metacritic. It may have gone down to 94, but when I first saw it, it came in at a 95. Also, I was 1 point off on my Spider-Man prediction. I predicted 92. Came in at a 91. So, unfortunate. But no, Mario Brothers Wonder reviews do look incredible. I've seen a lot of people say that it's like the best 2D Mario of all time, and for a lot of reasons. Like, it takes all the great elements of like Bros 3 and World, and just like, yeah, and it almost gives it like a 3D Mario vibe because of how much attention to detail and just the polish for it and everything. Like, apparently it's just an incredible game. I'm looking forward to playing it at some point. Next up, we had a new console announcement this week. We had a new N64 announced, ladies and gentlemen. The Analog 3D was announced, of course. And if you know anything about Analog, they are the ones who did the Analog Pocket. It's like a very clean, polished version of a Game Boy Color. Those things sell out quick the moment they ever come in stock, but now they have announced their new project, the Analog 3D. It does come with 4 controller ports, just like the N64, but it also has Bluetooth capabilities. It does have 4K resolution, as well as the original display modes, and it will be supported in every region coming out next year. I've never had a ton of interest in getting the Analog Pocket, because I just don't play a lot of like GBC games or anything like that. I just don't. But this, I actually have some interest in this one. I think this would actually be pretty cool to get. I do every once in a while play an N64 game, so this would be kind of sweet to have. So shout out to that. Also shout out that we got a fan-made Halo BR that came out before we even got the actual announcement of the Certain Affinity Halo BR that is apparently happening. A fan Halo BR launched by the Forge Falcons. It launched on Friday. It is very extensive. This is a situation of, with that Forge toolkit being in the player's hands, makes Halo Infinite a very different game.
Yes.
When we talked about this last week, it's just like, the game can reach an incredible point thanks to the players, not thanks to the development studio. You know what I mean? And this is that situation where they have like 8 large points of interest. There's AI that come in this as well. I don't remember the exact player count for this, but going through the full details they posted up, this is a very extensive game mode they made in Forge. So big shout out to this. It looks incredible. Definitely go check it out. Next up, there was a rumor that I came across that was kind of floating around the internet that the Switch 2 will feature a physical and digital version of the console. And I was going to ask you boys, do you think Nintendo would try this route for the next console? Because I was in the boat that they would go kicking and screaming before they went a digital route. That was my opinion.
They would never do it because you already cannot put more than like 2 games digitally on their consoles with the memory that they have now. And they'll never add more memory to it as a base feature. Or they'll never like get with the modern times with how big games are.
Yeah.
So even the digital games that you have, you already pretty much it's necessary to buy an expansion
Yeah.
to the memory just to play like some games that are digital only that pop up in the store.
Right.
They're like third-party games or like they're non-Nintendo games or like Xbox or like third-party developers or something that release something. You already can't like you can't put stuff on their consoles as it is. And even if they do up the memory size, I mean it's Nintendo. They still haven't figured out that games are like 40 gigs now.
Even with game sizes as big as they are, I'm always blown away whenever I see like the game size come out for the Switch version. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, how the fuck do you fit that on that cartridge? I gotta know. I just don't get it. Steve did pop in chat.
You remove all the other assets from the game.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much, and dumb it down as possible.
Oh, speaking of that, before I address Steve's comment, I saw the first screenshots that were officially released for Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch.
Oof.
The screenshots look good, but the first thing that I thought is, okay, that's all fine and dandy. You can make that look polished. Let me see gameplay in action. I want to see that.
Let me see a fight.
Yeah, let me see some action, okay? Let me see moving around. You can show me a clean picture. That's fine. That's easy. But I want to see more than that. You know what I mean? But no, Steve commented on my complaint about the PS4 install thing. He's like, the way to beat that is just never have any PS4 games. While that is technically true, I already had Cyberpunk. All right, piss off. I'm not gonna go buy the PS5 digital version. I already have the fucking game.
Why not?
No, I already have the game.
You're the one who always spoke highly of Cyberpunk.
I do love Cyberpunk, but I already have the game. It's all good.
It is like I don't necessarily have that issue, but I do, or I haven't seen it pop up, but I do have games that I bought that had like 2 different editions. So it's like I own an edition that has the PS4 and PS5 versions. But you can install. I mean, you can install both of them.
Yeah.
Because they're different editions of the game. So I wonder if I could install both editions
You should be able
to
to.
some of these games.
Yeah, you can.
Because I have the same thing with my Xbox where a lot of times for me to buy Xbox One X versions, I sometimes also have to buy just the Xbox One version. So I have both copies.
Yeah, and I've seen like I forgot his full username, but it's like Payo on Twitter. He's a massive Sony fanboy, whatever. He loved God of War Ragnarok so much that he beat the game on the PS5 version and platinum it, and then he platinumed the PS4 version too, because it does count as 2 separate set of trophies.
Okay. Now here's the question: did he play both of them on the PS5?
Both on the PS5, but he played the 2 different versions.
Champion shit right there.
Champion shit right there. Yes, sir.
Just the fact that you have the PS4 version, but you're like, they'll let me play it on the PS5, so why would I not?
Yeah, exactly. Nah, I saw when he posted that. He posted the screenshots of the PS4 version platinum and the PS5 version play. He's like, I love this game so fucking much. I played it twice to get the trophies twice. And I'm like, God, what a legend. What a legend. All right, so wrapping up, weekly wrap up, just 2 more things. Number 1, Persona 4 Golden does have a physical edition launching from limited run games for current consoles. So shout out that. You can get it for the Switch, PS4, and the Xbox. But yeah, from the cases they had, there was just the PS4. There's not like a PS5 version. I don't know if there is technically a PS5 version of the game. Is there not? When they launched it, it was for the PS4 and Xbox Series, right? That's it. No, I mean the relaunch within the last year, like when they went on like onto Game Pass and stuff. Like that was only for like basically the last gen. They didn't come out on like the series or the PS5 technically.
Oh, that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So
I was about to say.
They
I
put
mean,
it on everything besides that.
I was about to say. No, I was about to say it's just been ports. That they haven't actually done like a.
no,
Yeah.
I know. So yeah, so if you wanted to get it physically, you can. They even have like some collector's edition that you can buy for it too. So shout out to that. And last thing, apparently, Baldur's Gate 3 for Xbox is still planned for this year, claiming Larian. So if you've been holding out for that, keep holding out for it. They say it's happening this year still.
It's a Christmas gift.
Yeah, nice little Christmas gift for you. Enjoy. It's already been on PS5 for like I think a month now, and of course it's been out for PC for a couple months. But
Yes.
technically longer. But we're not going to get into technical here, but all right. So that's it for the weekly wrap up, boys. You got anything else we want to shout out?
Nope.
All right, bet. I'm gonna hit the music, and we are going to get out of here.
All right. I guess like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. I hope you enjoyed the Spider-Man talk, because if you didn't notice, I sort of tuned out at some point. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Sinmar. And if you manage to stay to the end with us here and want to see us again, we stream these every Saturday about 6 p.m. Central Time. So come check us out then.
Make sure to also check us out at our website, sparky3.com. You can sign up for free or sign up $5 a month. We appreciate that extra support. Just like we'd appreciate the extra support if you go down and use our referral link to buy some Rogue Energy, as well as promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off.
Ruby Splash is now out.
True. That is now out. Hydration flavors. You can pick that up. Hopefully we get a new energy flavor here soon. When we do, I will buy it immediately. I'm itching for a new Rogue Energy flavor. Shout out to everyone who bought some cans recently with the 50% off can sale. I appreciate you guys. As well as go over to Agent Inc. and pick up a jersey, because we have some of the best jerseys on the entire website, in my opinion, the best. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.